Folks, and welcome to Parallel Projections Draw 9. So in today's question, I'm kicking off, mixing it up again. I'm starting off with the isometric draw view over here, and I have a scale of 1:2. So we know, looking at that question, the max dimensions were 110 by 50 by 70. And I've halved all of those. So I have 55 by 25 by 35. Okay, and we can kick off there now, and we can draw in this. Okay. So looking here on the left hand side, there's going to be a little notch taken out of this, and I know, looking at that, I have to come in 40, half that means 20. Then if it's 30 wide, half that means it's 15 wide. Okay, and the height there on that is 20. You can just see it in the red there. It's a bit hard to see, so half of 20 would be 10, and we can draw in that there. This is 40 high, the front face there, half and that is 20. And then we know the top of this, the top blue piece there, looking in the question, is 50, half of that is 25. We nearly have our isometric finished. And then we just join these two guys, these 2 points. And that is our scaled isometric there. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to colour that in. And that is that coloured in there. So now we'll go ahead and we'll look at the orthographic over here on the right hand side. So just to give you a starting point, if you're looking for a starting point, I'm going to pick the center where the YY line intersects the XY line, and the XY line being our ground line, of course. Now, for that, I came down about 90 millimeters, and I came in 140 from the edge of my page, which will give us loads of room. Now, I'm going to leave 20 mil between the start of my object here, setting up my crate for that object, and on the elevation and end view. Okay. Now, so in today's question, arrow A is looking in this way, arrow B is looking in this way, and C is looking straight down. So A is the elevation it tells you in the question, B is looking in on the right. So remember, if it's looking in on the right, it's going to project onto the left. Always the opposite. And C then will be a plan view. And we always put our plan view, unless we're told otherwise, under the elevation. So we'll set up our crate. Now we know the max width on this then is 110. That's its max width there. We know the max width is 50. And we'll set up our crate. And we know the height, of course, we're given in the question there, is 70 millimeters. And that object now will fit into that, and it will fit into the elevation over there. So this being our end view, our elevation, and label your drawings. And now we're going to project the plan view. And again, 45-degree line. Save us a lot of time later on. And now there's only two heights really of note there. There's one at 40 mil, which I marked in earlier on. The other one was this guy over here. Okay, so it's very hard to see in the drawing, but he's 20 millimeters high off the ground. And we know he starts 40 millimeters from the edge and he's 30 millimeters long. And at that now we have all we need to draw in the end view and the elevation. So let's do that. Now, we need to take into account that there's a chunk gone out of this on the underside. So we need to take that into account for our end view, and we do that with our hidden detail, which is represented by dashed lines. Okay, that's our end view and elevation finished now. Now we'll come down to doing the last, which is our plan view. Now we can do this in heavy. Again, if we were flying over that object, looking down on top of it, we would not be able to see the underside, but we must take into account that there'll be two dashed lines representing that little tunnel gone from under the object. And I'm going to colour in that now as well to help my visualization, and you must colour it in working on this at home as well. And now that is our orthographic done. So the last thing then today we have to do is to sketch an isometric. And usually I find if you've a surface like the red surface here that's nearly touching or taking up the whole front face, I would go with that. Okay, so just sketching that out there. We'll just sketch out the crate first, as always. Use the pencil technique there if you need. And there we have it, folks. Isometric scale 1:2, oblique sketch going off at 45 degrees. And we have our orthographic up here. And, you know, it's the same as we're always saying there. And you have to be sure of this, that when you're looking at your plan view, if you're standing there, you will see your elevation. If you move over here and look in from this side, you will see the end view. So if you look in from the right, it's going to be projected onto the left-hand side. These are XY ground line and our YY, the edges of the vertical planes. Remember the way they fold out like we've seen in the video. And please go back and watch that at any time. So make sure you colour your drawings, folks. And I hope you have a great holidays, and we'll see you after the break. Take care.